Hello friends and welcome back to Vintage Sports Shack. And welcome back to a special episode of Don't Be Stupid. I got some comments yesterday on the video, so I thought I'd address them. So as always, stand up, stretch out, because away we go. Alright guys, I'm going to go through some comments. Pretty comical. I did the time machine yesterday. One comment, someone stated, with sports cards there's winners and losers, just like stocks, other collectibles. Not everyone's losers, so don't be stupid and be so negative. I've made some losing investments, but also have had big winners. Blah blah blah. Bought some sets that turned into thousands. So he turned $300 into thousands back in the 80s, early 80s, 90s. Guys, I don't know the exact numbers, but I got common sense. And I can tell you that in late 80s, early 90s, a Happy Meal with tax was $3.14. And you say, how do you know that? Well, back in the early 90s, I was in my 20s. And we used to buy Old English. Had two handles. With tax, it was $3.14 for a 64 ounce of OD. So I remember that. Nowadays, you can't get a meal for less than 10 bucks. So you take those cards that you bought, add the heating, electric, for 30 years, 40 years, whatever, your storage, because storage, you add all that together, and you might have broke even. You might have got your money back if you actually got thousands, like you said. So don't be stupid. Another comment was about the Tiffany's. Well, what if you bought a Griffey Tiffany and blah blah? Guys, back then, I remember our dealer had one. We called him AJ. His name was Ron Roberts, I believe. I don't know why we called him AJ. I always thought he was AJ. But I remember he had some Tiffany's, and they weren't for sale. Somehow only dealers got them, and I went back to the Beckett. There's no Tiffany's listed in here. Them were special. And I can remember he was selling one. It was an 86 Tiffany. And this was back in 90, 91. I was probably 2021. But he was selling it for over $1,000. So they weren't cheap then. I don't care what you might see in a book or whatever. But the Tiffany's, when they came out, they weren't cheap. They were very rare and very special. And you can look at today. They're less, but theoretically, they're more, but theoretically, they're less. So, I can go back and try to explain inflation and how things aren't worth more, but I don't have to. Have common sense. Back when I worked at the print shop, a gentleman told me that I'd understand this once I got older. We were making $15 an hour in 1990. Just got a raise, and he told me it was crap because when 1957 he made $1.25 when he started, and he had more money than what he had when he was making $15 an hour. And that I hardly could ever understand that. How could you make $15 an hour and have less money than when you made $1.25 an hour? It's purchasing power. Things cost more. Everything costs more. Yeah, your card, you might have made money on it, but the groceries cost way more. They might have went up 10,000%. So whatever money you get from that, your purchasing power has been lost. So don't be stupid. I wanted to address another question. This one liked to use capital letters. I love it when they use capital letters. looking at your website. He said, your with capitals, my website. Said, first of all, he said I had a box of 71 tops. I don't. I have a box of 81 Fleer for $200. That's with shipping and everything. That box probably cost, it had 38 packs. It probably cost $40 after tax. In 1981, get you $40. If I sell that for $185, I pay shipping, I'll get $170. $170 minus my fees, $25 to eBay, $145. Minus the $40 that I paid in 1981, which today probably would be $300. I'm gonna profit $100. I lost $200 on that, sir. So don't be stupid. People don't think. Just because you buy something for $1 and sell it for $1,000 100 years later doesn't mean you made money. Purchasing power, inflation, everything changes. Don't be stupid. I wanted to address another thing you said. What about that 1951 Roger Maris that you're selling for $50? Okay, again, sir. He said, check your Beckett. I did. In 1987, this would have cost me $12 in the condition it's in. Because in 87, this would have been a really nice card. It's fairly centered. Maybe 10. It's 10 to 12 bucks in the book. Probably $10 in 1987. I've got it listed for 50 once again. Probably going to end up selling it for 45. Minus 15, I'll get 30. Well, minus 10, I'll get $35. Minus the 20, that means I'll get $15. Minus the 10 I paid, I'll get $5 for it. However many years later. I lost money when I sold this. So don't be stupid. Your commentary is ignorant. If you can't figure out that cards aren't investment, guys, you're in a world of hurt. I got a family member, 30 years. House full of cards. Oh, I made my money back. I made my money back. I've seen a guy spend hundreds of thousands of dollars over 30 years. He ain't made his money back. Guy works every day, 6-7 days a week if he can, to buy more investments. Don't be stupid, guys. At some point, you got to realize I made a mistake and let it go. It's a hobby, I promise. No one's paying me to tell you this. I don't have any sponsors. Pete, but that's a joke. And Sweaty Balls, I don't have no sponsors. I'm just telling you from someone that's been in real estate and investing. I don't know everything, but I do know to listen to smart people. I got into sales. I went and took a 10-on-1 course. Del Vermillion. Best salesman ever at the time. Went to sell real estate. Went and took a 3-day course. Brian Buffini. Best in real estate. When I invest, Robert Kiyosaki. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I listen to the best, guys. I'm not smart. I listen to smart people. That's when I said when I do something, I'm not going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with the smart people that invest, that know what value is. I know a lot of you get angry and you just want to say, that, because you don't want to go home and tell your wife. You want to go home and tell your family, man, I spent all this money telling you they're investments and they're not. You're going to have to admit you're wrong. So, don't be stupid. Start now. There's help out there, guys. Sorry for being so depressing today, but I think some of you have to hear the truth. Some of you are going to crash and burn hard. All that money you've spent. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Is a bad investment an investment when you know it's a bad investment? Peace. Have a super great day. And yes, why'd we come here?
She on the jock, non-stop when we in spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block.